children. So again I'm back here with another part of Principles of Inheritance and Variation. Myself Papoli Saha, bio teacher from biology teacher from DAV Public School CCL. So today literally this is part 4. Today we are going to deal with part 4. The previous 3 parts have already been uploaded in the YouTube channel. You can go to my channel and just view the 3 parts. Now today we are going to start with what? Inheritance of 2 genes. What? Inheritance of 2 genes. Inheritance of 2 genes. In the previous videos, you have seen the monohybrid inheritance. I have already told you all about incomplete dominance. Then we had discussed about test cross. But we did not discuss about what? We did not discuss about the dihybrid inheritance. About dihybrid inheritance. So here we are to discuss today the dihybrid inheritance. Again, this is just a brief recapitulation of what you have studied in your class 10. So, it would be much easier for you to understand, but we have to do it. Okay, so let us start. First of all, already dihybrid means we are going to consider 2 traits in dihybrid inheritance, and it was given by whom? It was given by Mendel. So, what did Mendel do? First of all, you see, he took what? 2 traits. Now, I am telling you all. So, this is representing what? Round yellow seeds of pea. Okay? He took 2 characters. And why I am writing in capital letters? Because 7 pair of contrasting characters you all have learnt. Round was also dominant, yellow was also dominant. What was done? What did he do? He crossed it. With what? With wrinkled green. Just the contrasting characters. Now you see what happens during the monohybrid inheritance. What you all have seen, you all saw that when these 2 allelic forms were present for a particular trait, the gamete was receiving only one. So in the same way, what you will see over here, the gamete would be receiving 1 allele from each trait. From 1, 2 allelic forms are there for each trait. So 1 will come. So all the gametes will be containing these 2 allelic forms. And here also all the gametes would be containing this. So what? On coming together, what we are going to see in the F1 generation, what you will see are R, Y, Y. So in this generation, F1 generation, what you will see that all the pea plants are having round and yellow seeds. What they are having? Round and yellow seeds. This is the first F1 generation. What it is? The F1 generation. Now, how we have got it? You just saw it. Now, what? For getting F2, you have to carry out the selfing of F1. What? You have to carry out the selfing of F1. So, to go into the F2 or to get F2, let us see what is there. All of you please see. What did you get from F1? You got this from F1. Isn't it? This you got from F1. So now you are carrying out the selfing for what? To get F2, Now again children, here there is something which you have to learn now. So what you have to learn, that the gametes, possibilities of the allelic, different alleles which the gamete would contain. So first you see what the gamete should contain one allelic form from one trait and the other allelic form from the other trait. So one of the possibilities for the gamete to have that is one bigger R and one bigger Y. What is the other possibility, children? That it could be having this one with small r. Okay. What is the other possibility? Just see. One small means they should be different. Possibilities means they should be different. Now what is the other possibility? You just see, this is the other possibility. So how many types of gametes you saw the formation? 4 different types of gametes were formed. The same will be formed over here. The same will be formed in that parent also. So now you formed the or carry out the Punnett square or the Punnett square. You make the Punnett square to know the phenotype. To know the phenotype. Okay. Genotype, I'll give one formula. So what you will see, in one axis you place this parent and in other axis you place the other parent. How many gametes are there, children? 4 gametes, types of 4. How many? No, means 4 different types. How many types of gametes? 4 different types of gametes. So this parent would also be having 4 different types of gametes. Okay. So first you write this over here. This is for one of the parent. This is for the other parent. Okay. Hopefully you all are able to understand nicely. Now see what happens. I am writing everything. I am writing this. And in this axis also you have to write the same thing. And all of you simply, by seeing it in the blackboard, it's not possible. You have to do it yourself. You have to do it yourself. Just a playful method, very easy to get it. First, you combine these two. Okay? From this parent, from this parent. So, on combining these two, what you are getting this? Is it clear? Now you have to combine this with this. So what you are getting this. Now this one with this one, what you are getting this one. Now this one will this one. So what you are getting this. If you could follow, it's very easy. It's just a fun for you all doing it. Now you, this one with this one. Okay, the same method we will be following. But here you will get different combination. This one with this one. So you are getting this. So again, so what you are getting, you have to arrange and write. And here you are getting this one. So we have finished this part also. Now coming to the other one. So always try to write in such a way that this is the bigger now. So always try to write so bigger one, bigger case, lower case, upper case should come first. The lower case should then follow. Then what? This one you are getting. Then you are getting this. Okay. Then you are getting this. Now next is this. Again this. What? This. Again this. So while doing this, children, I am missing you all in class. Because when I teach this in my class, children do along with me. And somewhere if I do some error, okay, or if they are unable to get, we just interact with each other. So literally I am missing their physical presence over here. Now this is all about it. Now children, you have to find out the ratio. What you have to find out? The phenotypic ratio. To find out the phenotypic ratio, you have to see the different combinations first. You have to see the different combination first. So first of all, let us start the first one. Let us start with the first one. This will represent what? Round yellow. क्योंकि why? Because you see dominant factor, dominant factor. So the first characteristic which one you are getting is round yellow. What it is? Round yellow. So round yellow, this is one round yellow. So I'm removing it. This one is also round yellow because you see both the dominant character. This is the second round yellow. Okay. Now this one is also round yellow. So I'm doing this. This one is also round yellow. Removing this. 4 हो गया ना बेटा? 1, 2, 3, 4. Then this one 5. This is also round yellow. Then 6 round yellow. Then this one is 7. Why? Because you see the dominant one. Then this is 8. Okay. No, these are not. Then again you see 9. So how many round yellow you will find, children? You are counting now. How many round yellow? Out of this, how many? 4 into 4, 16. How many round yellow? 9. How many you are getting? 9. Okay. Now, let us come to the next character. This is representing what? Round what? Round what? Why round was green. Round yellow you have seen. Now it is round green. Now it is round green. What? Round green. देखो ये round है, दोनों छोटा छोटा है. Okay, we'll express round green. So I'm putting double cross. 1. This is also round green. 2. Okay. Now let us see. This is the third one. This is round. So how many round green, children? 3. Okay. Now this we have finished. Now this one. This is wrinkled yellow. Wrinkled yellow. छोटा है ना, इसलिए wrinkled yellow. What is the next thing? Next phenotype you are getting wrinkled yellow. What it is? Wrinkled yellow. Let us see. This is wrinkled yellow 1, wrinkled yellow 2, wrinkled yellow 3. Okay, how much you got? 3. Now only one is left. That is wrinkled green. With what we started? Wrinkled green. That is वो अकेला है. That is 1. So children, from here we came to the conclusion. What? That the phenotypic ratio of dihybrid inheritance is 9:3:3:1. You saw how we got it. Okay. Now the problem is in your NCERT book. It has been written. You will see. Okay. 2 columns have been given, and in that they have asked you question also, that whether the genotypic or the phenotypic ratio will be same, or if there is a difference, what will be the genotypic ratio. So this is the phenotypic ratio. What ratio, children? Phenotypic ratio of dihybrid inheritance. I will teach you. I'll give you a formula to find out the genotypic ratio also. Now, I want to say from here, Mendel came to the conclusion of a law. That law, so I am erasing it, okay? So I am erasing it. Just you all please go through the book and if possible, note it down, children. It's very important. So many crosses related to it are given in your question paper, previous year question paper. If you solve it, You will find many questions related to it. Every year or the other it is being asked. So I'm just erasing it. You just try to do it at home. So you see, with this dihybrid inheritance, after the conclusion of this, Mendel proposed another law of inheritance. That law is known as law of independent assortment. What it is known as law of independent assortment. You saw now how you saw this, but in the gamete formation, what did you see? Or you saw this one? You saw this one, this combination also. In the gamete formation, what did you see? पहला तो तुम लोग monohybrid inheritance से पढ़े थे ना, law of dominance, law of segregation. Here you have law of independent assortment. That means what? These two traits, the allelic forms, it is not that they are attached with each other. Whenever the need arises, those two traits with two different allelic forms, they can segregate, or they can form their own combinations. They need not take the help of other or depend upon other. So learn this law, that law of independent assortment. You saw in gamete formation how that assorted, how they moved, how the allelic forms moved. So that is all about independent assortment. Now I would like to give you all the genotypic mode, how to get the genotypic ratio of phenotypic. You got na 9:3:3:1. Let me erase and write it nicely. Okay. Phenotypic ratio, what did you get? 9:3:3:1. Now to get the genotypic ratio, there is a formula, and that formula is 1:2:1 to the power n. For monohybrid cross also, for finding the genotypic ratio, you can use this. For dihybrid inheritance also you can use this, and for trihybrid inheritance also you can use this. So that means what? Dihybrid means two traits. This is indicating the number of traits. So what that means? This one into this, isn't it? Means 2. Here you have to dihybrid inheritance, you have to write it 2. Now how you will find the phenotypic? तो तुम लोग को पता है 9:3:1. जीनोटाइप पता नहीं है. तब देखो पहले क्या करोगे, इसको इसके साथ मल्टीप्लाई किए तो क्या आया? 1 के साथ 1 मल्टीप्लाई किए 1 आया. फिर 1 के साथ 2 मल्टीप्लाई करोगे 2 आएगा. Then again 1 with 1 you are getting 1. Okay. Now let us start with this one. 2 into 1 you will get 2. 2 into 2 you will get 4. Then again 2 into 1 you will get 2. Then again start with this one. 1 into 1 is 1. 1 into 2 is 2. Then again 1:1 is 1. So children, this is the genotypic ratio of what? Of dihybrid inheritance. And what was the phenotypic ratio? It was simply 9:3:1. So whenever a question is asked, is the phenotypic and genotypic ratio of dihybrid inheritance A? You say big no. And you just use this formula. Okay. 1:2:1 to the power n means वो कैरेक्टर कितना ट्रेट है, यहाँ 3 भी पुट करोगे तो 3 का जीनोटाइपिक रेशियो आ जाएगा. You will get this genotypic ratio. So this is the phenotypic and genotypic ratio of dihybrid inheritance So let us go now to the next topic. And what is that topic, children? Today we will go into the next topic, and the next topic is again an interesting one. It is codominance. What it is? It is codominance. Okay. we are taking. What is now you saw in dominance now, that if two allelic forms are in the heterozygous form, so what it will be, one of them will be dominant over the other. In incomplete dominance, what did you all see? That none of the parents, the offspring in the F1 was like neither of the parents. It was incomplete dominance. It was in between. Codominance means here both the parents or the genes will be showing their supremacy. Both the traits will be showing their supremacy. And the best example is the RBC, which exhibits the ABO blood group system. ABO blood group system. Codominance means, now see what the gene representing the blood group is I. The gene representing is I. Now this gene is having three forms: IA, IB and I. So this is also an example of multiple alleles. When there are more than two alleles, then it is also an example of multiple alleles. Now see why it is being said codominance. Why? Because if you see, if A and B come together, okay, if A and B, let me write it nicely. If A, this two, because to express itself, two allele or allelic forms must come together. So when they come together, what you will see, there will, both of them will show dominance, and there will be the offspring. If one parent is having this one, the offspring will show what? Having the blood group AB. What? The blood group AB. So this is an example of codominance. This is an example of codominance, because this allelic form is also dominant. This form is also dominant. Only who is recessive? This one is recessive. This one is recessive. So this was about codominance. What? Where both of them express themselves. So there are 6 genotypes in your NCERT book about the blood groups. What you will see, if one of the parent is having this allelic form, the other parent is also having this one. So what? The gametes, okay, gametes from parent A, gametes from parent B. So what you will get ultimately, upon fusion, this would be the result, and the offspring will be what? Blood group A. Now if one from parent A, B, this is, suppose this is A, sorry, again you write it A, and other, from the other parent, the gamete contains this allelic form. So what upon fusion? This one. So who is dominant? I told you all, this is we getting